Welcome back into Wave Listens. I'm Michael Vanover, joined now by Dr. Abigail Sweeney from Louisville Family Audiology. Dr. Sweeney, welcome back into the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You've got some really exciting things to talk about today, which we're going to get to. But for the folks at home that might not be familiar with Louisville Family Audiology, can you give us a little bit of background on all that you offer in multiple locations as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We are a full-service audiological center offering premium, state-of-the-art technology with really, we have 4, other than myself, I'm the 5th, but we have 4 doctors of audiology providing all types of hearing healthcare services. So we offer hearing instruments, invisible hearing aids. We offer the ear lens, implantable devices. We do oral rehabilitation. And we really strive to provide the hearing healthcare your brain needs with the compassion you deserve.
Yeah, and one of the things that you've talked about before, we've talked off camera, we've talked on camera before, about is the impact of hearing loss on the brain. Can you elaborate on that? Because it's a huge deal.
It is a huge deal. It's my favorite thing to talk about.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. So really, hearing loss was identified as the #1 modifiable risk factor for cognitive decline in a big research journal called The Lancet. The Lancet Commission came out with that statistic in 2020. And what happens is when you are not properly stimulating that auditory center of the brain, there's something called cortical reorganization, which is the brain's ability to rewire, essentially. And so you don't want that to happen with hearing, because what happens is a lot of times the memory portion will come over to help the hearing portion when the hearing portion can't hear. Now, if the memory portion is helping the hearing portion, it can't do its primary function, which is to what? Remember. So we see a high rise of cognitive decline, memory loss, and dementia in the untreated hearing loss population. And some other really profound statistics that have come out recently too are people who have just even a mild hearing loss have a 2-fold more likelihood of developing dementia than the normal population. 2-fold in just mild. Moderate is 3-fold. A severe hearing loss is 5-fold more likelihood of developing dementia than the normal hearing population. And another crazy statistic is imaging scans have shown a shrinkage in gray matter in the brain in patients who were not properly treated with their hearing loss. A shrinkage in gray matter. I mean, your gray matter is the most important component of your sensory system. And so if we're seeing that shrinkage, if you're not treating your hearing loss, then it just makes sense that we want to treat that hearing loss.
So if you address it, if you stop putting it off, and there might be people watching right now that have said, you know, I think it's slipping a little bit, call the number on the screen, visit LouisvilleFamilyAudiology.com. But if they're watching right now and they get on hearing aids, for example, and they start using them, can they see an improvement in that function? And what does that do for the longevity of their brain development?
Yes, great question. So the exciting news about the brain is the good Lord gave us a brain that is neuroplastic. So neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewire. That's why people who have suffered a stroke can now walk that weren't able to walk or talk before. And actually with hearing loss, the earlier you do something about it, the more neuroplasticity you have in your favor. We do cognitive screenings in our office, and we see improvement all the time in people. And what the statistics show is after you have worn hearing instruments for 6 months, we oftentimes see a great improvement in people's cognitive scores on the cognitive screener. And research actually supports that evidence as well.
So what kind of technology, again, people that are watching right now, they're like, wait, I don't want that to be me. You know, I want to address it. What kind of technology do you offer that could really improve their lives?
Yeah, so the great news is at Louisville Family Audiology is we want to be really respectful of everyone. You know, we have lots of different technologies as well as different price points to offer people. So like I was saying before, we have invisible devices for those people that are very concerned about you know, the appearance. We also have a device called the ear lens, which is really, really awesome for people who have difficulty hearing and background noise. We have implantable devices for people who have very profound hearing loss or certain types of hearing loss. And then we also have traditional hearing instruments, which I actually have a pair in today.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I know.
It is amazing.
I always say, an untreated hearing loss is more visible, is more noticeable than the hearing instruments of today. So saying, huh, what'd you say? Huh, being the butt of everybody's jokes is way more noticeable than the hearing instruments of today. So the great news is, you know, we just actually, one of the companies that we partner with a lot, because they have what we consider as a brain hearing technology, they just launched with a new hearing instrument called the Oticon Real. And the exciting thing about the Real is that it supports exactly what we tell patients in the office, that the ear and the brain are connected. It's very important to treat the hearing loss to support the brain, and Oticon has something called brain hearing technology integrated in it. And their new Oticon Real is really amazing. You know, I've been wearing it for a couple of days now. I don't have hearing loss, but I always program a mild hearing loss into some hearing aids so that I can compare technologies. And so the amazing thing about this hearing instrument compared to the previous technology is it has something called sudden sound stabilizer in it. And anybody who has hearing loss can attest to that oftentimes sudden sounds that are like dishes clanking or somebody dropping something on the ground or just like overall kind of like noise in the environment can be bothersome. They have a sensitivity to it. And the amazing thing about this hearing instrument is, and wind noise too for those golfers out there. The wind noise is amazing because it has a stabilizer for that as well. So earlier I walked outside and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even hear the wind. I rolled my window down in the car and I was like, that is amazing. Doing this over the hearing aid, people that have ever worn hearing aids before, that is not bothersome. But the amazing thing about it, that sudden sound stabilizer, one of my best friends wears hearing instruments and he's worn them his whole life. And he was in the previous technology before. Wearing this hearing instrument, he said his sound sensitivity is so improved that he feels like he doesn't have that anxiousness around loud noises anymore. And so it's really made a profound impact on him.
So you touched about some of the different technology of this new hearing aid, but can you talk about just the development of the technology over the years? Because I think you're right. There are people watching that said, I used to wear them and I gave up, or you know, I used to see them out and about. Things that it's not the hearing aids of old.
No,
right? Can you
I mean, I have them in right now. They are on and I don't even know I have them on.
Right.
Like, and they have hearing loss programmed in them.
And you don't normally wear them.
And I don't normally wear them. It is so profoundly amazing. The best compliment we get, especially with our advanced technology, which we call standard of care, is that oftentimes people don't know they have them in until we turn them off.
Wow.
Because they say, oh, wait a second, what happened? I'm like, well, we turned them off. Turn them back on. Because they're so much more natural, the sound quality is so much better because of that brain hearing in there. They're really trying to implement technology that supports the way the two ears and the brain work together in a normal hearing person.
So before we let you go, I always like to do this. If there are people watching right now, what are some telltale signs that they may need to come and see you at Louisville Family Audiology?
Yes, great question. One of the big ones is saying, I could hear you, but I don't understand what you're saying. Can you speak up, slow down, enunciate? And you're thinking other people are mumbling is a huge one.
And you see multiple people that happen to all mumble, you think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's you, is what you're saying.
Turning the TV up louder than your family members prefer. All of a sudden you start to get some ringing in the ears. And the big one is people say, I do okay everywhere else, but when I'm in background noise, I'm really starting to break down. And remember I said even a mild hearing loss has a twofold increase in likelihood of developing dementia or cognitive decline than the normal hearing population.
And that alone is enough reason to take action now, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because there's something you can do about it.
Sure.
There's something you can do about it.
And not only enjoy life today,
but it improves your quality of life. That's what I tell my audiologists all the time. I say, we are not selling hearing instruments. We are providing a better quality of life for our patients. That is what we're doing. We're providing a better quality of life. We're increasing, we're improving cognitive function. We're improving their communication. I mean, there's so many things that hearing instruments do. It's not just turning things up.
Now, what would you say, again, if somebody's watching right now, you're checking the boxes for them, what's the best way to get in contact with you all and come in and see you?
Yeah, so we actually want to make it as easy as possible. You can call us at 502-215-8139. text us at 502-215-8139, or you can go online and schedule an appointment. So if you don't like to call, you can text. If you don't like to text, you can get on the internet and get on our website and schedule there.
All right, Dr. Sweeney, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for helping people. This is great stuff. Again, Louisville Family Audiology, if you would like to set up an appointment. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to our friends from DJX about the great things that they're doing. We'll be right back on Wave Listens Live.